Hello, everyone. Welcome to my temple. This is Dawn Del Vecchio, and I'm here to, I think, begin a new short series of videos on a specific topic. So, the previous topic, which I didn't think at the time was going to be a series, but there was so much to talk about that I ended up doing several videos on it, and that was called Prayers for Recalibration. And that began at the sacred secret pool in the forest that I go to. So, and then I did two or three more here in the temple, giving you a little tour. So now we're moving on to another series, another little topic that I feel is, well, it's not a little topic, it's actually a really big topic that I feel is supportive for us at this time. So, I'm calling this Leveraging the Light for Our Own Healing. And I'm looking down at my notes because this kind of came through some journal writing I did this morning. So, leveraging the light for our own healing and awakening, really. And so we begin with the same sort of foundational principle, which is that we are in a quickening right now. We are in an active period of ascension, accelerated light, and accelerated intensity of shadow. And even though for the last, can you believe it's almost 3.5 years now, we have seen revealed for us some of the nefarious, shadowy agenda stuff that was going on behind the scenes for 100 years, 1,000 years, we don't maybe even know. There's a lot of thoughts on that. So even though that's been going on now for 3.5 years in a clear way with lots of forward-facing, what's the word, evidence of a push to control and limit the consciousness of humanity, at least for those of us with eyes to see, we see that. Right now, there's an acceleration. There's an acceleration of light, of energy, and we can leverage that. We can work with that for our own healing and empowerment, or we can be kind of bowled over by the next wave. So that's what the basic foundation, the underlying assumption is with the stuff that I'm sharing these days here in the late summer of 2023. Okay. So this morning, inspired deeply by a message in one of my private community groups by another sister, I responded with some reflections, and then I ended it with something about us facing and dealing with life circumstances born of decisions made in lower frequency. Life circumstances born of decisions made in lower frequency. So that's really what this piece today is about. Because once I wrote that and I started journaling about it, what happened was I channeled a kind of a way, a step-by-step method for healing that. So I'm just going to share tease out a couple of statements here to flesh this out more for you, because if you're watching this, then you are on the ascension light path here to be in sacred service. And you may be not only looking at what's going on in the world, not only receiving some of the beautiful blessings of your life and have moments and times of gratitude and appreciation, but you're maybe also dealing with some of those really deep knots, right? The really deep knots of your own karmic patterning that want to be cleared now. So I wrote, life circumstances born of decisions made of lower frequency. This is one of the things we are facing individually in order to correct or simply to come to peace with in our lives. So each of us has our own issues, our themes, our karmic themes, our samskaras, our karmic knots, our granthas. There's all different words for it, right? They could be health issues, they're patterns that we don't want anymore. So when we talk about circumstances born of decisions made in lower frequency, I'm talking about being right here in this now moment in this awareness of the ascension, having done a fair amount of our own inner work and going, wow, I'm still dealing with that health issue, this relationship issue, a patterning in my work life, problems with my career, money stuff. You know, these are the common, the main categories we could say, you know, love life or lack thereof. Why am I still in this pattern? What is this about? So we're getting down to it now. We're getting down to the deep core, the foundational knots that we want to clear. So, I reflected on that and was thinking about, you know, different people in my life whom I know, whom I respect deeply, who I know they're doing their work, they're deeply clearing stuff, and they're facing their stuff like the rest of us. And then I thought about my own pattern and what that was. And so I really asked, I wrote, so how do we rapidly shift even the most stubborn circumstances? Because somewhere in the journaling I wrote, we can now rapidly shift even the most stubborn circumstances. I was like, well, that's great inspiration. Thank you for, you know, that divine guidance. But how? And then it came through very quickly, a very simple simple but not easy, necessarily easy step-by-step process. Step number 1, love that self who made the decisions which led to your current circumstances. So the part of you that made the choices that eventually led you to here, when you were in a lower state of consciousness, she or he needs to be loved and accepted and forgiven for the errors made at a time of a different consciousness. So this step 1 is really based on the knowing that we are the result of all the decisions we've made. So the life you're living now is a result of the last 1,000, 10,000 decisions you've made. So the first thing to do is to really say, I love the part of myself, I love all of me, and I love, accept, and forgive the part of me that was making those decisions that led me to this circumstance, whether it's a health issue. Again, the usual suspects, right? A health issue, a financial issue, a job that you feel stuck in, an employer or a colleague who's, you know, causing you distress, or a relationship that's hurtful or heartbreaking, or a lack of relationship. Whatever it is for you, you are the creator of your life. I'm the creator of my life. We are collectively co-creating this entire reality. And so the first thing we have to do is love and accept that part of us. Then, whether you even remember who that was or not, just be willing, right? And then identify, this is step 2, identify key decisions which did not serve you and forgive them. It's kind of like a 2-part, part 2. Identify those. So this would require some journaling, some reflection, some essays, well worth your time. And I say that personally because I did this morning. I sat in my garden, I did all these steps. I spent about more than an hour and a half going through all these steps and really feel a shift coming for myself. Feel it certainly in the peacefulness in my heart. But anyway, okay. So step number 1, let's review. Step number 1, love the self that made the decisions that led to where you are now. Step number 2, identify, start to tease out those key decisions that you have made that have led you to where you are now, and then forgive them, which may require some ho'oponopono, or the radical forgiveness work, or the forgiveness work as is taught in A Course in Miracles, that I have my Freedom Through Forgiveness course that we just ran, or depending on when I load this video, we may still be running it, with Lori Appleby, Master Coach for Radical Forgiveness. Anyway, some process of forgiveness. Do your forgiveness work around those decisions and that consciousness that you were. Now let's go to step number 3. Step number 3, remember that, and this is a quote from Deodova's Return of the Bird Tribes, all of creation is inside of me. So that song was playing when I asked the question, how? And so that keyword phrase was key to this guidance. Remember that all of creation is inside of you, that you are the creator, you are the creatrix of your reality, not just in the 3D decisions you make, but in the soul that made the decisions for the life path that would lead you through to a journey of growth, development, and greater awareness. So that's step number 3. Then step number 4, gaze with fresh eyes upon your life and the blessing of it all. And if you do step 2, steps 1 and step 2 are super important, because what will happen is you'll come to greater understanding and compassion for why you made the decisions you made. And when you do that and you remember and you claim and you reclaim your knowing that I am the creator of this, I'm the creatrix of this. And then you can look with fresh eyes upon your life now. You can see the blessings. You can understand at a deeper level why you made the decisions you made and forgive them and let them go and say, okay, that's the past. I don't need to carry it with me anymore. But when it's unconscious, you keep carrying it with you. But when you see it, you witness it, you forgive it, you let it go, you say, yes, I am the creator. And so I can look upon all my life. I could see the blessings in it. I can see where there's changes I wish to make. And I can, instead of dragging around that old unconscious baggage of that low frequency guilt or shame of the decisions you made back then, or just the ignorance of it because it was in your subconscious, now you're free. Now you can step forward in a new way with a new energetic. So one more time, we'll go through it quickly. This is to leverage the light for our own healing and awakening. To rapidly shift even the most stubborn circumstances, 4-step process. Love the self that made the decisions which led to your current circumstances. Identify and tease out some of the key decisions, or all of them if you can, which did not serve you, led you to where you are. Then forgive them. Then remind yourself that all of creation is inside of you, that you are the creatrix of your experience. And then gaze with fresh eyes upon the blessing of it all. I do hope this has served you. May you find the peace that surpasseth understanding in your life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and subscribes if you found value in this video. And we'll see if there is more, if this becomes a series or if this is a one-off on how to leverage the light for your own healing and awakening. Many blessings, and we will see you again another time. Mwah.